So I've been vegan for about 4 months, and I kind of wanted to do this project just to figure out if I am on track with all my nutrients and minerals or if I'm a little bit behind, which I kind of suspect I am. If there's anything I needed to add to my diet to get all those nutrients and minerals that I would need so that I could sustain this lifestyle for the long term, which is obviously the goal. I put what I normally ate in a day into Cronometer, which is just an app that shows you the carbs and the protein and the lipids and nutrients and minerals breakdown of my intake for the day. And what I found was that I am behind in iron and calcium, vitamin B, vitamin K, vitamin D. So going forward, I wanted to figure out what I needed to add to my diet in order to get all those nutrients and minerals.
A lot of people love to ask where vegans get their protein. It's not necessarily an issue of how much protein you get, but rather the amount of calories you're eating. You can get so much protein from nuts and seeds and legumes and beans and tofu. I do take a B12 supplement. That's the only supplement I take. Humans can't get B12 from the soil anymore. Usually it would grow on root vegetables, but since our soil is so depleted, it doesn't anymore. You can get a lot of iron through dark leafy vegetables, so spinach, collard greens, broccoli has iron. I know that dark green color is kind of a signal that there's most likely iron. That's one thing that veganism taught me: do not fear carbs. So your body runs on glucose. That's what your cells run on. That's their primary source of fuel for all the functioning of every single cell in your body. And glucose is a carb. As you're taking in those carbs, you're just directly feeding those cells with glucose. So your body is getting the most direct form of nutrients. Your body actually runs most efficiently on carbs. Thinking of a food pyramid, definitely on the bottom, what you're going to want to eat the most of is vegetables and fruit. Then next you're going to want to have your grains and your whole wheats and things like that. And then on top of that is going to be your heavy proteins, your legumes and your beans, tofu, tempeh. And then on top is going to be your more fatty oil. Obviously you want to keep that kind of small.
So me and my roommate went to Trader Joe's, and I kind of wanted to just show you guys what I got. This isn't all of what I'll be using, but it's just a few added things that I got, and I just made sure to get some things that were high in the nutrients and minerals that I needed. So the first thing I got was this lovely papaya, and papayas are high in carbs, so that's why I got that. And then the next thing that I got were 2 bunches of bananas, and bananas are also high in carbs, but they also have B6, magnesium, potassium, and vitamin C. So the next thing that I got was hemp seeds, and the hemp seeds are high in the omega-3 and omega-6, which I was lacking in, so I decided to get that to supplement that for those nutrients. And then I got 2 persimmons, mainly because I just wanted to try them. But persimmons are also high in vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. And then I also got mushrooms, and I was really lacking before on my Cronometer report in iron and folate, and so these mushrooms are going to help put those nutrients into my diet. And then the next thing that I got were potatoes. And potatoes are high in potassium, vitamin C, vitamin B, and obviously they're high carbs and fiber. And then I got this tahini, and tahini is just going to be a dressing, a fatty dressing that I put on my salads. And then this strawberry jam for my oat topping, just to give it a little bit of flavor. And then the last thing that I got was this B12 supplement, just because, as Liv said, we do not get B12 through natural sources anymore, or rather, it's really hard to get through natural sources, so I'm going to add that into my diet as well. From doing my research and talking to Liv, I figured out that I needed to definitely add calcium into my diet, and I needed to add all those nutrients that I was lacking in. So what I did for the next day was I had a banana smoothie for breakfast, but I added that calcium into my banana smoothie. B6, potassium, magnesium are all in a banana, so that's a really good thing to get. But then for lunch, I had a potato and a lettuce wrap, and so there I was getting in a lot of my other nutrients that I was lacking. And then for dinner, I had a rice bowl with veggies, mushrooms, and beans. And so for that, I added in obviously protein from the beans, magnesium and iron and folate, which are in those mushrooms that I was lacking so greatly in. So then I put all of what I ate the next day into Chronometer. I ate so much more. As you can see, the levels are green rather than red or yellow like before, which means that I am doing so much better in getting in all that intake. I think I was 50% ahead in all of the areas on the second day rather than the first day that I put my food into Chronometer, and I also ate 500 more calories more. So I think that now going forward, I know what to put into my diet, and I know how I can make this long term and I can sustain it for the long term.